I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me, and what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour, take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all wanna ring, yeah, we all wanna be free. So show me what you got, what you bring, how you fight in the ring, how you take a fucking swing. Do you got heart, are you mean? Got some scars, got some needs, are you willing to go bleed? I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. I swear to God
Welcome back, ESGN Nation, and welcome to the return of Madden 23 as we're back here for the Pro Bowl week. As of course the Bills getting ready for a Super Bowl game against the Falcons, and we'll talk about that in just a bit. But first, it is Pro Bowl week, and of course you want to see who is going to the Pro Bowl. And of course we got a couple of Pro Bowlers ourselves. Of course we won't be involved in the Pro Bowl game, but we do have we'll show you guys the roster for the Pro Bowl, and of course we'll look at some of the other stuff that's going on here in the NFL right now here in this series. So yeah, as we take a look here at the lineup for the Pro Bowl, of course Prescott and Watson will be your starters there for the NFC and AFC. Hurts there second. McCaffrey's going to be your leader there in the NFC in the halfback position. Derrick Henry in the AFC. And as you take a look here, it's pretty good names there. Cooper Kupp, of course, Cooper as well, and of course Keenan Allen, Goodwin, CeeDee Lamb, Higgins, and of course Sutton and Landry. So a lot of course usual names there. Schultz, and of course Travis Kelce there for the tight end position. Goddard and Henry for the backups there for the tight end positions, and then you got other positions as well. So it's your usual suspects as we see here in the Pro Bowl. And of course obviously we're going to the Super Bowl, which will be in Las Vegas. And of course by the time this video comes out, we already know who the winner is for the Super Bowl. And of course it is congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs winning that game against the 49ers. Close game by far, but man, I was really hoping for the Niners were gonna pick up that win. Of course, I live about 45 minutes away from Kansas City, so, and a lot of my family and friends are big Chiefs fans, and of course I was the only one rooting for the 49ers. Of course neither one of my teams were in it, but hey, I'm gonna root for the Niners, I'm not gonna root for the Chiefs. Have no qualms about that at all. But yeah, really good game. So Chiefs now have now won what, 4 out of the last 6 years now, or 4 out of the last 5 years, something like that. Or 3 out of the last 5 or something like that. I can't remember what the number was, but congratulations to them on that honor. Of course, now they're back-to-back champions and looking to try to see if they can go three-peat coming up next season. But there you see, we got a couple of our guys here. I see Ishmael Page as the NFC leader. He will be the number 1 kick returner there. As we take a look here at the Week 21 matchups, and there you see Gildry. There you see our corner, 6 tackles, a sack, an interception, and that AFC championship game against the Colts. So take a look here. We got some nice upgrades as well leading in to the Super Bowl. Here we got Hunter Cannon, who, of course, the Rookie of the Year, having a great year there in the tight end position. I would like to see him. I think next season we'll have him kind of split his duties in that tight end position. I kind of want to see him play fullback possibly, because he was actually pretty well. He's a pretty good runner as a fullback. So I kind of want to see him in that position possibly, depending on what our needs are for the season. So as we take a look, of course, Falcons 9-8 going into this one here, and they are a wild card team, believe it or not. And of course, we got one of our ex-players, Jordan Pryor, who we'll talk about here later on. Excuse me, who is a part of that team. And we have to deal with this young man here. Already a year underneath his belt is Ritter. He is from the University of Cincinnati, former Bearcat, and of course he is a QB for them. He has led this team, coming out of the NFC South Division, and representing that division very well for themselves here this season. And they have gone through a lot to get here to this point. So there we see here Ritter's numbers. They are over 4,663 yards for the season, 35 touchdowns, 19 interceptions. He's been sacked 23 times this year. And even though he's thrown a lot of interceptions here, this young man has been very impressive there. He's of course got that player tag as QB of the future, and I definitely could see that here with him. I think a better offensive line that can protect him. And of course, if he has this man right here with him for another season or two, and of course they got some upcoming halfbacks. Cordell Patterson, there you see star dev. He is going to help him out in the backfield there, which I think it's going to be a very key to their game. He's actually had a great season here as well. He's 34th ranked in the National Football League when it comes to halfbacks, and he's been putting up some really good numbers for them this season. I think that's going to be one of the keys for them in this game, is trying to run the ball here against our defensive line, I should say, which is going to be a tough task because we have not given up too much when it comes to running backs. But he does have over 1,000 yards for the season. He's only had 3 rushing touchdowns. He has had a fumble here this season. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if he has a breakout game. He's had over 600 yards for receiving with 4 receiving touchdowns. So he's got that combo of he can be explosive out of the backfield in the running game as well as in the passing game. Excuse me. So that's going to be a tough task for us. A bit of a challenge for us, but hey, we're willing to step up. Brian Edwards, the 3-year guy from South Carolina, star dev, 84 overall, and of course he's going to be a guy we're going to be watching out for the most part here. He is their, I believe, a leader in touchdowns this season, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, we're going to have to make sure we can have a good matchup against him on that far outside there in the passing game. As you take a look at some of his attributes here, and he's pretty skillful play. Unfortunately, didn't get 1,000 yards this season. He ended the season at 749, but 4 touchdowns this year, and he is definitely going to be a player that is, as you take a look there, he's started with Vegas and now with Atlanta, his 2nd year with Atlanta. Burris here, another guy, 3-year guy. He is definitely going to be a guy I think will probably be the guy they'll probably throw to more often. 92 speed, 91 acceleration, and he has pretty good catch as well. And I wouldn't be surprised it's the guy they throw to on those third down conversions there. He is going to be somebody that, besides Pitts, the guy that we're going to have to watch out for and make sure we can have a good guy stuck on him. So third downs, I may have to switch up and move some of our corners around to kind of watch out for Burris on those third down situations. Same thing with Pitts, because Pitts, I mean, it's pretty much they can throw a ball up there and let him catch it. But I think he's going to be one of those guys that it's going to be really third downs. I'm really going to have to watch out for him because look at some of the numbers he's had, of course, going into the playoffs here. He's actually been doing pretty well. So he's kind of like their third down wide receiver there. Elijah Cohen, 71 overall, 91 speed, 87 acceleration. Again, another one of those players that could be clutch and could have a breakout moment. Really, truly, this team, they're kind of that 500 team. We don't know which way they're going to go. They could have a really bad game, or it could be a really good game. This could be their game of their life, and everything could come crumbling down around us. But he has that future star player tag there. So, not put up too many numbers here, but, this is the Super Bowl. And a lot of crazy things have happened with players like him that can step up and show off what they can do and kind of have a breakout moment. And, of course, Kyle Pitts as well. There you see superstar X Factor. And, of course, he is going to be the guy. Really, truly, this is the guy I'm really concerned about once we get in that if they get in the red zone here, this is the guy that we're going to have to focus most of our time besides the running game, because like I said, Patterson, he can come out of that backfield and get those little screen passes there and make a short catch as a huge gain. But Kyle Pitts, guy, I mean, tall guy, can get up there, 6'5", 245, second year guy from Florida. He's a day one starter, and yeah, he's got over 1,000 yards this season. He's had 6 touchdowns. He's been very, very successful, especially going into this playoff season here. In a lot of the games, especially I think in that last game they had with Green Bay, he was very impressive in that. He had some pretty good numbers. And, we'll have to really keep a close watch on that. Hargrove, now we'll take a look at the other side of the ball for Atlanta. And Hargrove is going to be that guy that it may be a bit of a challenge for us to run the football here. He will gobble up our halfbacks. So I'm kind of looking at possibly maybe running the ball outside if need be. I think I can't remember exactly what the game plan is, but when I was kind of looking at the numbers and what they were showing, what he's got so far here, I was looking at some of the numbers from last games. He's one of those guys who he can really wreck your day if he gets in that backfield there and cause havoc for your running backs there. So I imagine we'll probably run the ball like we have been with Moss and Cook, and kind of back and forth. Run the ball on the outside, run the ball on the inside. But we'll have to see. We'll kind of test things out in the first couple of runs there for the most part here. This in the first couple of the first series or so. Donovan Marquardt, of course, if you guys know him from the Highland Scotty series, he is of course with Atlanta. And he is, of course, his rookie year. Normal Dev, 77 overall. He is a speed rusher. And there you see his numbers. He's been having pretty good, impressive postseason for a rookie. Not putting up gaudy numbers, but pretty impressive. Made some pretty good plays, especially in the first game they played this season, or the first game in the playoffs here. He had a pretty decent game in that first game of the postseason, but take a look at his numbers there. Like I said, not too gaudy, but I think this is one of those games where the Super Bowl could really kind of we can kind of see a coming out party for him, as he has 23 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and of course remember he's a very good player. He's kind of flying around just like his counterpart here AJ Terrell Jr. Could fly around the field and cause problems once they get him up to that level here in the NFL, just like we see him in college. But AJ, there you see 92 speed, 90-man cover, and of course a great zone. I'm really nervous when that zone is really making me nervous there, because he is going to be a guy that, he's going to be flying around the field. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts playing, if they get really to the point where they'll push him, maybe move him to the safety position. And of course, we're not going to try to throw deep. I think for the most part, we're going to try to run our normal game. But I can see him being, along with Jordan Poyer there, you see our former teammate of ours from season 1, who we traded. I can see AJ being a guy that can fly around, and he can play that safety position and help out Poyer there. And maybe even I could see them maybe matching them up with our tight end. There cause some problems there for Hunter Cannon. But there you see Poyer, great numbers there. Of course, he was with Chicago. We traded him there in Chicago. Briefly, he played there, and of course, this year he got picked up by Atlanta. And of course, this is a bit of I would imagine this is probably a bit of a nice, sweet revenge game. He went to, he didn't go to the Super Bowl with us last year because we traded him midway through the season. But he has that mentor role, and I'm pretty sure he's probably mentoring Marquette there for future safety for them. But if you take a look at the numbers there, this is numbers in Chicago, pretty decent numbers, not as good as they were the year that he was with us, having a great year. But for the most part here, I think Poyer, this will be a good game for him to get some revenge. So as we take a look here, look at the road, how Atlanta got here. First game was against the Cardinals there, 31-17. It was the final in this one, and the Cardinals, surprisingly enough, had the better time possession, and you kind of wonder, like, what is the deal? Both teams had a turnover in the ball game here, but as you take a look there, I think for the most part here, it came down to the passing game. I think it was whoever had the ball possession-wise there. Of course, looks like, of course, Falcons did a great job here to be able to score throughout the game. But Ritter, 332 yards, 2 touchdowns. He completed 77% of his passes. As for Murray, of course, he had a touchdown interception. Of course, Murray is more known for his running game than he is for his passing. 243 for the day. But for the most part, I think Ritter just did a great job there. He had help, in the running game. Just take a look here. Patterson, 15 carries for 93 yards, or excuse me, 63 yards, and a touchdown. And of course, he did have a fumble in the game. James Conner, 12 for 37, a rushing touchdown for him as well. But I think the big thing in this story here, like I said, Kyle Pitts was very impressive in this first game. 6 catches, 140 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That made the difference maker there. Now, Hopkins, for the Cardinals, did have a 100-yard game. Did get in the end zone with 9 catches, but that was just not enough because you see here, Drake London helped out, even though he didn't get in the end zone. Patterson as well helped out in the backfield, making some nice catches there. And of course, there you see some other role players that just really stepped up and showed off what they can do with that football. And like I said, Pitts just went out there and just had a crazy game. Let's take a look here at some of the defensive numbers for Atlanta. Their leader right now, Needham, they're in that game with 7 tackles, as well as Casey Hayward Jr., always involved in a lot of the craziness there in defensive side. Of course, he had a tackle for loss. And then you see some of the other guys here with some numbers. William Golston, you see he has his only sack in the game there for Atlanta. And of course, Poyer helped out with an interception, as well as take a look at some of the final numbers here in this first game. So really impressive game. Like I said, Ritter getting all the help he can get from both sides of the ball. especially his latchkey being Kyle Pitts. Next, they played Tampa Bay, a former rival there of theirs in the NFC South, winning this one 31-24. Gave up a few more points here, 7 more points than they did in the previous game here. Of course, these two know each other quite often. They see each other twice a year, so it's kind of tough trying to come up with something new when you see each other that often. You see each other twice a year. So, and of course, division rivals. There you see 334 yards gain of offense. Rushing wise, a little more favor in the Atlanta side of things when they scored 97 compared to Tampa's 85. But then passing yards went to more of the Tampa Bay side. And turnovers, there's only one turnover, and that was Tampa Bay. We were +1 in turnovers. And of course, red zone appearances favored more so in Atlanta's, as they had 3 red zone touchdowns compared to Tampa's 2. Take a look at Ritter. Not a big game here for this one. He did have 2 touchdowns, but he did get sacked 3 times. He completed just near 50% of his passes. He only threw for 166 yards. So it was a tough game. Like I said, you're playing against one of your rivals. They know you pretty well, and they're gonna go at you in different angles. But he did get help getting this game won, and that's of course those 2 halfbacks there. Tyler helped out with 5 catches, 16 yards, and a rushing touchdown. Of course, Patterson 15 carries, 71 yards, and a rushing touchdown as well. Not a big game here for Kyle Pitts. Kind of slowed him down. He did have 2 touchdowns in the game, but he barely didn't even get close to 100 yards for the day. They kind of stuck him pretty good in the first. I would imagine in the first half they probably had him pretty well there, but he only had 6 catches for 50 yards in the game. Take a look at the rest of the numbers here, and of course, Atlanta just squeaking out there. I guarantee it came down to a possession or some type of turnover, and they took advantage of that, and they were able to get away with a victory here against one of their rivals there in the NFC South. So a nice win there for Atlanta, and of course they will move on playing against the number 1 seed Green Bay Packers, who we'll just see in just a bit here and see their numbers here for the most part here. So, like I said, this was a good game. This is definitely kind of testing what they can do, and now, with a game like this coming and barely walking out here with a victory, I think that really got them fired up and ready to go, and of course eventually move on and play Green Bay, where they did play Green Bay. It was another close game here, 27-24, as they had to go up to cold Lambeau Field for this one, as of course they are coming as the number 5 seed in this one. And of course you see Green Bay of course had the first round bye, defeated their rival in a very close game there. Of course, Lions were able to defeat the Eagles in that wild card round, and then of course could not defeat the Green Bay Packers. But Atlanta did. Atlanta won this one at 27-24 is your final, as the rushing yards really came in and did great for them, as they had 105 rushing yards. No turnovers for either side, but they were able to convert 8 of their third down conversions. Green Bay only completed 6, and it looks like this one came down to where it looked like Green Bay looked like they were trying to kind of charging back there towards in the fourth quarter, but Atlanta kind of stood their ground and basically said, okay, defense, step out, go out there, step up, see what you guys can do, and they did so, as they held them just under 3 points there, and did a great job there. So defense really stepped up here. Eric Reed for Green Bay, 302 yards, 3 touchdowns. Ritter, 276, 3 touchdowns. He was sacked twice, or actually both guys were sacked twice. And Ritter, 74% of passes completed to Reed's 68% of his passes were completed there in that game. So Ritter doing a better job here. Seems like he looked like had a lot more confidence to be able to throw in the pocket and got a little more help from the offensive line there of his. Rushing wise, not so much, as Patterson did have a fumble. He had 13 carries for 59 yards. Was not able to get in the end zone. Aaron Jones for Green Bay, 15 carries for 52 yards. But he for Atlanta, they did get help there. They had two other halfbacks help out in the running game there, so that was really helpful. Pitts, great day. He had over 100 yards for the day. He had over 10 catches, 11 catches for 132, but no touchdowns, as they could not get him in the end zone. Marvin Jones, on the other hand, had a spectacular day. 6 catches for 106 yards, 3 touchdowns. You would think, okay, Pitt's not getting the end zone. What's going on? Well, it went to Barrios. 5 catches, 46 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns, and Cohen stepped up as he had 3 catches for 46 yards and a touchdown there. So the rookie did a great job there. And like I said, that's why I'm saying he had a breakout game here. And I can see the same thing happening against us, as maybe kind of he's playing this I was gonna say bait switch, but possum out there, and we're not really paying too much to him. I can see him just taking off down the field and making some big plays against us, because we're so focused on Pitts and as well as Burrows in this game. And of course, worrying about trying to stop the run, the double threat coming from the halfback position there with Patterson. But there you see just some of the numbers there for the defense. And like I said, I feel like that's going to be one of the trickiest things for this matchup here, is that that halfback mix there. And of course, they're they seem like they pretty do the same thing like us. We're using guys using fresh legs when it comes to the running game there. For us, we're going to rotate with Moss and Cook, and then eventually we'll probably bring in our third string back as well. And like I said, we've got our tight ends playing different. They're playing fullbacks in different different play formations, so we can use those guys to run the ball. Hopefully they'll be hold on to the football. One of the things I'm kind of worried about, I think in a couple episodes ago, we've seen Calvin Parker. We had him run the ball one time, and he fumbled the ball. It's like, okay, you can't be fumbling the ball here, dude. You're supposed to have good hands. You're a tight end. You're a receiving tight end at that. Like, you're supposed to have good hands. So we'll see how things go. And like I said, I'm kind of playing with some different stuff here and kind of adding some new formations, because I'm kind of gradually changing the playbook as we go along here in this series. But take a look here, defense. We're kind of looking at the game plan here for our defense. And of course, we're looking at trying to shut down quarter passes. So we're going to try to stop the outside run. They suggested that. I kind of agree with that. I can see him really bouncing out and making a huge breakout. Of course, for us, running the inside game, even though I don't want to get near Hargrove, but I think that is going to be best, because this man right here, he is definitely going to be one of those top run stoppers there, and really cause some problems for us. So yeah, running game is going to be really important. That's pretty much, what it's got us here. The last couple of games here, we've seen some big runs from our guys. At one point, we had both our guys get over 100 yards in a playoff game. So I can see that being the same case here in this situation. So this, like I said, it should be a good game. I'm not for sure when it's going to come out here. It should be out here in the next couple of days or two, as I'm working on some other content for the second channel as well. So stay tuned for that, because we do get some new Madden content from actually Madden 24, surprisingly enough, over there on the second channel. So I'm trying to get that up there, and of course we'll have this as well here on this channel. But yeah, we got media day questions. Of course, we got some more player upgrades here, and we got some staff changes here. We're at least trying to get some upgrades for staff here for XP and stuff like that for the team. But yeah, I really think this is going to be a good game. We're going to try to go 2 in a row here. We're 16-1 for the season. There's a lot of things going on here. And then, like I said, this is one of those teams that they're sitting right there near that 500 mark. You don't know which way they're going to go. This could be the game that they just kind of explode, take off and go and do their thing. And cause problems for us. But then at the same time, I mean, I'm hoping our defense will step up and make some big plays. And Ritter never been in this situation before, so it's gonna be new to him, and it's gonna be challenging for him. So hopefully he'll have those jitters, and we can do well. So we'll see how things go. But if you guys did enjoy today's episode, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you happen to be new. Hit that bell notification so you guys be notified of this series or any other series that happens to drop here on the channel. And of course, don't forget to check us out over on our second channel over on ESGNet Plus LP, as we got some great content up as of late. We actually got our first LP series of the Marvel Spider-Man game. I replayed that and had a lot of fun playing that, so definitely go check that out as well. But yeah, I'll leave the links down below for all our social media, as well as other series that are going on here on the channel, as well as what's going on over on the second channel. But that's it. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Keep yourselves each other healthy. Let's go, Bills Mafia. Are you guys ready? Can we go for a two-peat? We'll find out and see. Coming up very, very soon here on the channel. Stay tuned for it. I'll try to make an announcement of when that video will be released here on the channel. But that's it for me, you guys. As always, keep yourselves each other healthy, and I will see you all next time.
I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.